Hello, coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with manager Xavi, who reportedly believes Pique is no longer up to Barcelona standards, and he was really angry after Inter clash with Gerard Pique. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about RISK Kounde, it has been reported that Barcelona are ready to risk the injured centre-back for Real Madrid clash on Sunday. We are also going to be discussing about that. So guys, before we get right into it, please, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so. Give the video a like and also please watch the video right up to the very end. In a must-win game against Inter Milan at the Spotify Camp Nou, the last result Barcelona needed was a 3-3 draw. After taking the lead in the 40th minute, courtesy of an Ousmane Dembele goal, things went downhill as the Catalan Giants imploded on Wednesday night as the club's hopes of qualifying to the Champions League last 16 hung by a thread. It has been claimed that Xavi is anything but at ease about the situation. As per a report by AS, the Barca boss was livid after the contest but did not direct his frustrations at any of his players in the dressing room. However, the club legend is believed to have arrived at certain conclusions in the aftermath of the clash, one of them being that of Gerard Pique is no longer cut out to start in the big games. In a game to forget for the World Cup winner, he was particularly at fault for Nico Barrella's equalizer as he gestured to leave the incoming cross, failing to spot the midfielder who was positioned behind him to put the ball into the back of the net. Further details have suggested that, Xavi's fury grew as the night progressed, as he is understood to have been angry while leaving the stadium in his vehicle. The highly respected tactician is said to believe that Barcelona's hopes of surviving in Europe's elite competition are non-existent at this point. The former Arsenal manager is reported to have constantly been reliving the game in his head before watching the highlights to assess where it all went wrong for his side. Responding to hundreds of messages asking him to keep fighting and not give up, Xavi is aware that an imminent exit from the Champions League weakens the potential of his project. Yesterday's result is still painful. It still pierces the heart of most Barcelona fans, but it is what it is. What has happened has happened. We just need to keep believing as we have done for many years. Every time in Europe has been one disappointment, one after the other. Like, it's just like a curse. Xavi, of course, understandably, was so mad according to reports, and even though he did not approach any player to confront them, but the report says he was just so mad at the way Gerard Piqué defended. He was just so mad about the way the team played. Definitely, he has to be mad. Of course, Piqué was pinpointed to be one of the villain of that encounter yesterday because he was a total disgrace at the back, to be honest. We just need to keep believing, guys. There's nothing we can do. Forever Barca, we are always Barca. I think we have gone through nights like this. So we have gone through the times of at Anfield, Roma, the nights that we have lived that are even tougher, far tougher than this one yesterday. So I think we can live through this moment. But one thing that we need to be certain, guys, is this will not last forever. It won't. It won't. It's just our own bad time. No matter how long we are here suffering every year in Europe, we just need to keep believing in this thing. To be a diehard supporter, whether the team fails or they win, whatever, we must be there to support them. Unless we are plastic fans, but I know we are all not plastic fans. As a true Barca fan, we need to accept the reality. It's true that we always need to improve. For how many years have we been talking about this statement? We need to improve, especially in European competition, where we have been disgracing ourselves. So it's just sad. It's just sad. We can't change the outcome. It has happened, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's just to ensure that Xavi learned from his mistake. We need to learn what went wrong, must be figured out, address the situation properly to ensure that things like that don't repeat itself. Even though Barca is Barca. Barca always don't learn. The same thing we complain today, tomorrow the same mistake they do. So Xavi will still remain the boss of Barca. There's no doubt about that. As it has been reported that Laporta still trusts him in the project. Even though Barca have made a lot of losses, when we consider how Laporta and his board have gone for economic levers after the serious debt that they have been, all the risk to ensure that financially Barca are good in order to buy some quality players in the transfer market. All these have just entered water because it's big losses. Laporta and his board must be angry because of the financial losses, but what can one do? It's not easy though. To build anything, you must start from scratch. The beginning is always tough. It's always tough. Of course, we understand that Laporta wanted to just build this thing without transition. That's why Barca just took the high risk method or the high risk way of going for levers, doing things as soon as they can to ensure that the quality players come. We don't have time to waste because Real Madrid is progressing. So there was no way that's why you can see when these two teams, they don't have time for transitions. They just want to, but maybe the season have told us that Barca must go through transition because maybe likely going to the Europa League again. It's part of transition because this is not the kind of season that Barca in their top form should be. So it is what it is. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Barcelona were barely missing one of their defensive outlets in RISK Kounde when they were held to a 3-3 draw last night by Inter Milan, a result that may have serious financial repercussions and lead the club's elimination from the group stages of the Champions League. However, Barca have some positive news coming their way as Kounde is on track with his recovery and is in line to start the upcoming game against Real Madrid on Sunday. The Frenchman, who had joined Barca in a big money move from Sevilla this summer, had picked up a knock during the international break. He has since missed a host of crucial games, including both legs against Inter. Kounde is not the only defender out injured, as he has joined Andres Christensen, Araujo in a growing list of injuries at Barca. During their absence, Pique and Eric Garcia have mainly served as alternatives. But in light of their poor performance against Inter Milan, Barca are prepared to fast-track the return of Kounde, especially ahead of yet another important clash for us against Madrid. This has been reported by RAC1, which suggests the former Sevilla man, Kounde, is currently training with a group with the intention of starting against Los Blancos. Barcelona believe his presence at the heart of the backline against Madrid could provide the side some defensive solidity as they brace themselves for the uphill task of containing Karim Benzema, Vinicius Junior and co. Kounde's pace, coupled with his athleticism and technical prowess, could add a new element to the Barcelona defense. However, with a young defender coming back from injury layoff, it will be so interesting to see whether or not he can deal with the pressure. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.